One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love.
Now we need the lights, please. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero. We welcome you wherever you are on the planet or in the cosmos, as it were. Who knows who's tuning in? This week was such an exciting week with all of the images coming out of the James Webb Telescope, which used to be called the Next Generation Telescope. Amazing images. We're going to talk a little bit about that today as we explore the theme for the month of July, which is rest and play. And the talk title for today is balance. Balancing rest, work, play, mind, body, spirit, the inner world with the outer world. And what is the difference? How do we even know how to bring ourselves into balance? And what is it that mostly helps us to get into balance and stay in balance? So we thank you for joining us this morning. Those of you who are here in person, braving the weather, it's can't be out in the yard, so you might as well just be here. So thank you so much. And we're going to start this morning as we start every Sunday. I was talking with a friend over the weekend who's been incorporating the practices of Qigong into helping to heal her body. She suffered a stroke, and she's noticing that as soon as she started the practice of Qigong, pulling in that energy, pulling in the light, it started to expand and rewire, recircuit her brain and her consciousness, and she's feeling so much better. So with that, we say, get up wherever you are, welcome joy, and participate with this ancient practice of Qigong brought to us by Helen Yi this morning.
Hello, everyone. We continue with our Qigong practice, working from the inside out. So please, always, with the eyes open, be aware of the center of the head and expand outward from the center of the head in all directions to infinite space, shining brightly from the inside out, connecting us all, heart to heart, mind to mind, gathering all the healing qi, love, good wisdom, information, and pull it back, gently contracting into the center of the head, and very gently close the eyes. Aware of Shenqi Palace, the mind's home. Our inner essence, our lighthouse, awakening, shining brightly, deeply inwardly. Then allow the hands to move upward, palms facing inward in front of the chest. Lace the fingers together, staying inside with complete awareness of our inner lighthouse. Allow shoulders to relax, hands relax, as elbows are gently pulled outward, staying inside, aware of our inner lighthouse, shining very brightly as the qi field supports the elbows, being pulled outward. The mind's consciousness in the middle dantian, between Tianzhong and Shenzhou, the front and the back of the chest, inside, becoming brighter, larger, Relax. Only see, aware of our inner lighthouse. Relax. Inner lighthouse. Getting brighter, brighter. Middle dantian, brighter, brighter. Our true essence, inner lighthouse, awakening, shining deeply inwardly. Relax. So bright, uniting, transforming inside. Now, separate hands to the sides, staying inside. Very gently open the eyes, smiling from the inside out, giving thanks, aware. You can continue to play with Qi and practice as long as this feels good to you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz. My mistake there. I thought we had Helen Yee queued up. But thank you, Deborah, for that beautiful practice. And this morning, we're going to explore the materialized world of our cells and our atoms and the zeros and the ones that make up humanity, and also going out into the cosmos. But let's first start with a beautiful meditation called Listen, O Drop. And as we go into the meditation, just following the breath, allowing us to fill ourselves with that light we were just experiencing in the practice, putting our mind, our spirit, our mind, and our bodies together. Now allow ourselves to feel, following the breath, listen, O drop, that we are one always with infinity, and infinity is contained always in us, in the drop. Listen, O drop.
Listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. In the arms of the sea, be secure. In the arms of the sea, be secure. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. In the arms of the sea, be secure. In the arms of the sea, be secure. Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, 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 oh drop. Listen, 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 oh drop. Listen, 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 oh drop. Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Listen, 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 oh drop. 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 Listen, 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 oh drop.
In the arms of the sea, be secure. And I think about in the arms of the sea, listen, oh drop. And then I start thinking about the stars in the sky. And again, going back to the images coming out of the cosmos right to us. I'm not sure about you, but I've been fascinated with the stars and the cosmos from the time I was a little kid. You remember just summertime, especially, or even if you were bundled up enough in the winter. Sometimes we'd be bundled up in the winter so much you couldn't even walk, like on A Christmas Story. But just lying on your back, staring up at the stars in wonder and in awe. What is this? How far away are they? And what's beyond? So I was, people were going into space during the time I was a little kid. And I know sometimes people had other ideas of the sun. Just once you get out of the solar system, like how far is the sun? What's beyond our sun? Is there another solar system, another stellar system? And in fact, these images coming from the James Webb telescope, just doesn't it make you feel, even though we can't fathom with our mind, we're going to talk about balance today and what to use, which of our mechanisms to use when. Can your mind literally fathom what 14,000 light years away is? Not really. It's kind of mind-blowing. So that they could even say that, did you see the images of the bat that's floating through space? There's just enough light, just enough materialized form to make it look like a giant bat flying through space. And this thing is 14,000 light years wide. I don't even know what that means. However, because I can see it now, it's kind of like when you would see photographs of the Grand Canyon, maybe when you were a kid. If you've had the privilege of driving west from where we are, checking out the Grand Canyon, all of a sudden you know it's there and you have some idea of what it is. But then when you're standing on the edge, any rim, doesn't matter which one, looking into and across, your depth perception becomes completely, skewed. You can't really fathom what you're seeing, but it's there. So what does that mean? What kind of looking do we need to employ? What kind of sight? What kind of intelligence helps us harness the realization of the cosmos? And if anyone's hung out with me long enough, you know the answer that I'm going to respond with is meditation. It's the thing that, as within, so without. there's a beautiful chant Paramahansa Yogananda wrote called "Thousands of suns and moons from my body doth shine." So this solar system is inside and outside. And so I want to talk today about balance, rest, and play. I was talking to Michelle earlier as we were setting up this morning. She was telling me about some of the camps she's been working at for the Y through the summer. And she got some of the grandparents and parents involved in, I think it was a water balloon fight. And at first they were all, no, we don't do that anymore. We can't. And she said, oh, yes, you do. I do it. And here I am. So she handed everybody a water balloon, and paraphrasing, of course, but before you know it, everybody's like, incoming. They were having the time of their lives. When did we stop playing? And the reason I like to tie play into the cosmos is because we play with imagination, like Albert Einstein. Imagination is more important than knowledge. If we go all the way back to the beginning of people starting to contemplate the cosmos, we go back to like Tycho Brahe and Copernicus and Galileo Galilei, Kepler, like all of the, Sir Isaac Newton, of course. Each one, Copernicus was the one that helped us to realize it's a heliocentric universe. The sun is at the center, not the earth, as was previously thought. But it was through a series of imaginations and explorations to be able to ascertain this knowledge, this wisdom, and put it forth so we can discover more. So we start with a foundation. So I ask, like, bringing things into balance. What is the foundation for bringing yourself into balance? What are the things are taproot? What I decided to do is just split it up into 3 main areas that we're most used to exploring in human form. It's that spirit, mind, body connection. So if we overemphasize any one of those things, if we cater too much to what the body wants, I don't know about your body, but if I cater too much to what my body wants, it's going to want to eat sweet things, and it's going to want to do, even like over exercising sometimes. I want to just keep going when I probably just should stop. Mind, I might want to read endlessly. And so what I started to put into practice is, as I read, I write things that come to mind. So I'm participating with what somebody else's knowledge or wisdom has brought to me, but I allow my mind to springboard into the imagination of all the other things I'm aware of. And I can start seeing, oh yeah, this reminds me of that. And it helps to springboard. So if we keep playing like that, and then spirit, of course, I like to meditate. I also like to sing, which I'm going to say this, I'm going to start doing more singing myself here on SoulCall Sundays in the months ahead. So be on the lookout for live music coming right around the corner. And I'm going to be singing a lot because I miss it too. So there we go. But springboarding, like singing a song, there's a particular melody that came from the spheres. It's called music, the muse. And we can tune into it. But some of us have that subtle hearing that we can hear the music of the spheres and write it down and then share it once it gets here. It doesn't mean that it's not there for everyone. It just means for some reason in this lifetime, I could hear it. But what's the difference? So what I try to do when I'm singing is I try to sing from the place I first heard the song. I try to stay in the middle of it and not make it just about me. I try to make it like, I try to sing it as authentically as I heard it. And I was reading a book, which I'm going to be teaching in September, called The Holy Science. And this science of balance, of spirit, mind, body, it's so important to keep it all balanced, because only when we're balanced like this, in our balanced nature, we become more than just a reflection of pure light. We become light itself. We become light itself. So looking again out into the cosmos, of galaxies far, far away, they're far, far away if you have a relationship with them in time-space continuum. They appear as though they're far, far away. But in reality and in thought, they're right here. And just being able to see that they're even out there has somehow, to me, I just started, I don't know about you, but it made me cry. In the true sense of the word, finally, it was awesome. My mind was blown even further than it was before. If you thought it was out there before, good luck. It's like that. You know, how many of you felt like that? Did it just kind of, oh, wow. Did it make you feel small, or did it make you feel part of something vast and more important than you thought you were? Both? Yeah. So it's like, I felt that way too. I felt, I'm a speck, but I'm an important speck, or I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. We're all important specks, and we all hold light. And like that bat that's out there, it has just enough particle to it to be able to show a form from a formless thing. So then I take that into, I use my mind to let my mind springboard into spirit to contemplate this body. From this body, suns and moons do shine, doth shine is what he says. How is that? How does that work? And I would take a question like that. So the invitation to play is to rest and play with the imagination of the question that you have. Take that into your meditation, into your walk, like a walking contemplation. I've been walking a lot more, and I appreciate getting up early and getting out the door before it's so stifling hot. And sometimes I like to listen to things while I walk, but I generally just don't listen to, I just am contemplating something. So that's the invitation this week, is to rest from the incoming and pull one thought that fascinates you, much like Galileo and Copernicus and Sir Isaac Newton and Tycho Brahe and all of those people who had that kind of time. You know, Sir Isaac Newton was born to a family of farmers, and he was expected to become a farmer, but he didn't want to do that kind of work. He had an appreciation for nature, but his mind was in the stars. He was more, and to people who are only interested in materializing things here, it looks like you're not doing anything. You're just sitting around daydreaming. It's important to daydream. Daydreaming is that springboard. So allow your thoughts to go far and wide as you walk. That's one way of finding balance. Allowing yourself to explore the cosmos, the consciousness of your own being. What's in there? What am I feeling? What do I really feel about what's going on in my world? And what can I bring my mind, body, and spirit to springboard somebody else, to help something grow and evolve? So I want to read a couple of things. I've been reading a book called A Beautiful Idea by Frank Wilczek, and he's a physicist, and you know, I'm very much into fractals and holograms and things like that, the holographic universe, where the particle contains the whole, and the whole, that's us. Take a look around. This is who we are. We're all of it. What I loved most, and so I started to study Platonic solids, right? They're just the basic shapes of the universe, and they're found in everything, a triangle, square. But this thing, what was some really fun facts about this, the telescope that they use. The primary mirror consists of 18 hexagonal mirror segments made of gold-plated beryllium. So a hexagon is 6 sides, but it's made of 18 of them. It looks like a honeycomb of gold that can reflect pure light without distorting it in any way. That's the whole key, as to how to do it. But why 18? Those of you who are following at home with numerology, that is the number the number 9 is the number that can't, that always adds up to itself. So the number 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9. It's a magical number. Think of any number. 5 times 4 is what? 9 times 4 is what? 9 times 4 is 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9 times 2. This is a lesson today. 1 plus 8. 9 times 9. 8 plus 1. 9. Yeah, so 9. It's just amazing to me that it took 18 6-sided figures put together to be able to do a thing like that. I don't know if there's deeper meaning in that or not, but there's a question for you. Contemplate that on your walk, right? So these things and the way people work at them, play and rest is the theme. Play and rest. It's when we're at rest and play that we open all the way out, and new ideas can come. New ideas can come. Like playing really hard, working really hard at playing is something I remember. Somebody did an astrology chart for me a long time ago, and she said, you need to work really hard at playing, or else you're going to get too into your thoughts. And I was like, that's true. So every once in a while, I'm like, am I working hard at work, or am I working hard at playing? And I check myself. So the invitation is there to find that balance. If you feel a little bit off, put it all on pause and check it out. Another easy way to check how you're balancing the cosmos with the earth is something simple that I work with my coaching clients on. You just draw a circle on a piece of paper and cut it up, like draw lines through it so that you have 6 equal pieces of pie, and then label them as a significant, each slice of pie is a significant piece of your life. Let's say, family, work, spirituality, exercise, whatever they are for you. And then if the center point is 1 and the circumference of the circle is 10, does that make sense? So each line goes from 1 to 10. From the center is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put a dot in each one of those slices of pie as to how much time you spend in that area of your life. And then connect those dots. And if it looks like a tarantula when you connect them, well, the idea is to try as best you can to have a circle within a circle, or as close to it as possible. Sometimes, obviously, if we've lived long enough, we know sometimes something got more of our attention for a little longer than this. But recognize that, and as carefully as you can, I don't say as quickly, because sometimes an abrupt shift is not what's necessary in that moment, but as carefully and consciously as you can, bring yourself back into balance. Bring yourself back into balance. So the telescope, that's one. It's compared to the Hubble, it's a little bit smaller, but it was able to go further. So the way it was connected. So again, like just being that reflection of pure light. And so I grabbed this off of a piece of reading. It's like, ultimately, we are connected right now to the beginning of the universe. Does that just make you like, yes? Our bodies are made of stardust, the burned out embers of stars that were released into the galaxy in a massive explosion billions of years ago, mixed with atoms that formed only recently as ultra-fast cosmic rays slammed into the Earth's atmosphere. Now, some people right now are going, oh, she's a Big Bang Theory person. Yeah, I am, but I'm also aware that something caused the Big Bang. It's not an either or, it's a both and for me. There's still something that did that. So you don't have to give up this notion that we are connected to something that is a vast, intelligent, loving thing that carefully over billions of years crafted this. Look at us. I mean, when we stand, this is, you remember the image of Da Vinci? When he's standing like this, we're stars on the planet. We're shaped like all of it. The more we start to understand how the cells of the body work, and each one is holographic, it holds the memory, and how through practices like Qigong and meditation, we can expand our minds and our bodies and reprogram something that's off. Just like it's a consistent thought. If we don't feel well, we've been thinking that and thinking that and thinking that. I remember when I was a kid, I don't know about you, I don't know a lot about people, but the things I used to think of, I used to get very frustrated when they started talking about genetics and DNA and how we were going to be predisposed for certain conditions. No, we're not. Maybe, but if I believe you, and I think that, people would watch me sit down to eat dinner, and in my 30s, they would say, man, as soon as you hit 40, you're not going to be able to eat like that. You're going to have stomach problems, and you're going to, like, well, guess what? I'm here to tell you, I'm still proving that one wrong every day. Not that that's the best thing in the world, but I'm just saying, like, so whatever you want to improve on, spend time doing that. It took billions of years for things to evolve, for each to have its proper place to play and rest and play and rest, like the ebb and the flow of water. It rushes in, it rushes out. Some of it gets absorbed into the sand. It gets to just stay. Who knows how that works? But it's, phases of the moon, of course. But recognizing we are more powerful when we use our mind. We're not just our minds, is the thing that's important. When we use that thing that's in the middle, the spirit, the mind, and the body, when we use it in the middle with our will and intention to tune in to the cosmic intelligence, we can spread it out and take in more information that's there for us all the time. And we can discern what is worth remembering every single day and what's not. Letting go of how, I know many people in this room have been transformed through the positive use of healing affirmations. Reprogramming your mind to think a different thought makes room. But even quicker than that is when we're pulling in light and allowing ourselves to expand. When I say in some of the classes I was teaching Rumi, to become more porous in nature. Don't think that your body stops at the end of your skin. It doesn't. There's light all around it. Candy knows this. Candy sends healing vibrations out through Reiki. It's like magic. The testimonials we get after a Reiki session, a distant Reiki session. She doesn't even have to be there. She can send it and people feel it. How does that work? There's this cosmic intelligence. How's my voice being transmitted through all these things? But if I just was thinking about someone, and again, we've said this before, if you think about someone you love and they call you, everybody in this room shook their head because that's faster than all of it. That's where it's at. And so, we need to be in the world, but not of it. We need to remember we are in the world, but not of it. And that's the key. And that remembering is our spiritual practice. That's where the spirit comes through the body and we use the mind to kind of sift thoughts and direct using the will, the magnetic force of our hearts, and then the body's intention. We're going to materialize something new, something vast and vibrant and beautiful and unique. In all the cosmos, when I see that too, it makes me think, wow, there's nothing like any one of us in all the cosmos but us. Think about that for a minute. My whole head's tingling when I'm saying that. It's fantastic. So there's this wonderful book. It's called Living with the Stars, How the Human Body is Connected to the Life Cycles of the Earth, the Planets, and the Stars. And it's written by Carol and Iris Schreiber. And in this book, it says, it's a little synopsis of the book. The body that is with us all our lives is always changing. We heard this? It's always changing. We are quite literally not who we were years, weeks, or even days ago. Our cells die and are replaced by new ones at an astonishing pace. The entire body continues to rebuild itself time and again using the food and water that flow through us as fuel, like through the mitochondria in our cells. It transfers food into energy, and as a construction material. So think about that. If that's true, and it is, which thought right now would you like to change? Which situation you might be experiencing in the body would you like to change? What else? Which spiritual practice would you like to change? But keeping it within yourself, that's where the joy, that's where the power is. If you change the world, change yourself. Change the world, change yourself. And in changing ourselves, it becomes less important to control other people. Have you noticed that? They're going to do what they do. And as soon as we can realize this doesn't work for me anymore, I need to disengage from that, all the power comes back and you get to be who you want to be in the world. So what persists over time is not fixed, but merely a pattern in flux. So when you watch the cosmos, those galaxies swirling, everything spiraling, you are little walking galaxies. You are a little walking universe, constantly in flux, which means we're breathable. We can change things. So allow the idea that we're constantly in flux. And if that's so, what would I like to be more flexible around my fluctuation? Pull something in that you really want to have. We rebuild using elements captured from our surroundings and are thereby connected to the animals and plants around us, to the bacteria within us that help us digest them, and to the geological processes such as continental drift, volcanism, and being here on the earth. We're also intimately linked to the sun's nuclear furnace and to the solar wind, the collisions with asteroids, and the cycles of the birth of the stars and their deaths. Ultimately, we are connected to the beginning of the universe. Think about that. This past week, another great was born onto the planet on Friday. I've got a new great niece. Yeah, so excited. It's just so, so beautiful and so precious. And when you start thinking about, go back and back and back and back and back and back. I like to watch Genealogy Roadshow, things like that, and finding your roots. And it's fascinating, but you could trace it all the way back to the beginning of the universe, every one of us. Come on. Our bodies are made of stardust and the burned out embers of stars that were released into the galaxy in a massive explosion billions of years ago. And it's not just remote history, but it's now a part of us. It's part of us now. Our human body is inseparable from nature all around us, and it is intertwined with the history of the universe. So when we think about trying to bring something that vast into balance, it's clear that the mind can't do it alone based on the intellect, because we can't fathom what 14,000 light years is. That's just the width of one little galaxy out there. But billions of light years away? No. Now that I can see it, it feels closer because it resonates with us on the inside. The wisdom of ourselves, the wisdom of our souls knows it. That's why it feels closer, you see? So getting away from the material world only and using the mind, I've been saying this for decades, the highest use of the mind is to get out of the mind and to get tapped in to the source of the soul, that thing that was born a billion years ago. That's where we are all one, and that's where we are all the same age, infinite. Age of the house is one, but the age of the soul is infinite. So my invitation in bringing yourself into balance is to get out of the mind. Doesn't mean to be crazy, but you can be out of your mind and enjoy playing something that opens you up and helps you. When you laugh, you spread out. You can't be defensive when you're laughing. It's the most, I do this because I would say to you guys, it's like the cosmic flasher of the universe. If somebody makes you laugh, you're just completely exposed. Allow yourself to be exposed to the infinite through meditation, through contemplation, and know that you are billions of years old and loved and necessary more than you can imagine. But try to imagine and be here to offer your soul's calling to the planet, not somebody else's, or not to fit into somebody else's little. Let it go. The one that brought you here has got you here. The one who brought you here has got you here. That should be on a t-shirt. Somebody write that down. Yeah, Michelle's got it. So enjoy. We're going to hear a song right now. It was written by Eddie Galuckin, and she and I performed it. This is one of the first performances we've ever done, but it's so perfect for today. It's called Dust. And yeah, we're like handfuls of dust, pieces of sky, thundering silence, answering why. We're gods in ruins, gods in the making. That's that constant flux part. Gods in ruins, gods in the making. And there's a reference in there to, we are zeros, we are ones. When they started studying how planets revolve around the sun, they thought it was a perfect circle, but then they realized it was an ellipse. So it was a little oval shaped. But as planets circle the sun, no matter where they are in the circling of the sun, it's equidistant from the sun at all times, even if it appears like it's not. And it goes from, the range is 0 to 1. 0 to 1, 0 to 1 all around. So this was long before the digital era, but was it? No, it's somebody was onto something we didn't quite have, in place yet. So it's been with us. My whole body is tingling as I say this. Like, open up to get away from the things that are so manipulative, and allow yourselves to cut a new groove, or be grooveless, except when you're dancing. That could be not a good thing. No grooves. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new day, a new beginning. Be careful what you think twice. When people say you better think twice before you, some thoughts once is enough. All right. So just, that's what creative thinkers do. They try to think outside of the mind and tap into the cosmos. So my invitation is to be out of your mind this week with joy, with rest, with contemplation, imagination. Contemplate those cosmos, which in fact you are part of, and you were birthed at the same time. And here we are showing up as different constellations. Please enjoy Dust.
It's like stepping off 100-foot pole. It's like holding your breath, then letting go. It's like giving in to the bottom, giving out. It's like giving up precious doubts. How does it feel if they grow with your fear, laughing as you fall? Can you see it all intertwined? Take a lines, twisted line. We are handfuls of dust. We are pieces of sky. We are thundering silence, answering why we are. We are zeros, we are one. We're everything, and everyone. We are silence, we are storms. We die and we are born. We're emptiness. We are born. We are handfuls of dust. We are pieces of sky. We are wandering silence, answering why. We're gods in ruins, gods in the making. We are handfuls of dust. We are pieces of sky. We are wandering silence, answering why. We're gods in ruins, gods in the making. We are.
Thank you very much. Handfuls of dust, pieces of sky, thundering silence, answering why. Why we are, why we're gods in ruins, gods in the making. Can you feel it? Yeah. So we thank you for joining us this morning, the SoulCall Sunday. And I want to just give a shout out to everyone who's been supporting us. And we're going to be evolving into a next section with some more live music on Sundays. So stay tuned for that. And your donations go also toward our next food drive, which is going to be in September 10th. We're going to package up the food, and September 11th is going to be the pickup date right here at AIAM. So we thank you for your contributions that are going to help us start to stockpile food that we'll be able to put into bags for families in need. Also, thank you to our prayer team. All of you who are on the prayer team, I say thank you. And if you're in need of prayer for either spirit, mind, body, please send us an email at prayers@soulcallglobal.org. Bonnie is spearheading that team, and she's working with Candy on the Healing Arts team, who sends out remote Reiki. And there's going to be more about Candy in an upcoming newsletter. Many have been asking if she's available for private sessions, and yes, she is. Glad you asked. So there's going to be more information about that. So you're going to want to avail yourself of that opportunity. She's amazing. So joining us here, AIAM, every Sunday in Columbus. If you're sitting around at home contemplating coming down, use your imagination and imagine ahead that it's going to be an amazing time once you get here. So come and see us live at 10 o'clock on Sundays. We're here, and it's always a great morning. Coming up, let's see, our Circle of Love / SoulCall retreat, first of this combination, is coming up in October. There's going to be registration happening in about a week or two, but save the date for October. Actually, you know what? We just changed it, Aiden. I'm sorry. It's now going to be the 14th through the 16th because we had the wrong date on the Ohio State football bye week. It happens to be October 14th through the 16th. So save the date, October 14th through the 16th. He is so on it. Thank you, beautiful Aiden. And going to be right here at the Dempsey Event Center in Delaware, Ohio. So if you live close by, lucky us. And there are plenty of rooms and accommodations very close by. That's all going to be worked out for you. So mark your calendars, and we can't wait to see you here for that. Something else, on Monday, tomorrow night, I'll be doing Monday meditation from 8 to 9 p.m. We talk about meditation. I've been doing this now for 2 years, and it's to give you the opportunity to actually practice group meditation. What's exciting about this is starting on the 27th, Wednesday the 27th, we've been practicing as a kirtan group. We're going to have our first live hybrid kirtan meditation. Yes, Wednesday, July 27th at 7 p.m. at the Dempsey Event Center in the sanctuary space. Beautiful. So it'll be chanting and meditation. And Monday meditations are going to be moved to Wednesdays. So after this Monday, we'll have Wednesday meditations from 7 to 8 p.m., with the first one being Wednesday the 27th, live kirtan. So you're going to want to mark your calendars and be there for the energy of that beautiful opportunity. I feel like I'm skipping things, but I think that's enough for now. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, please do so, and you'll find out more of the information and how to partake of all of that. So we thank you so much for joining us, SoulCall Sunday. I send you love wherever you are. And remember always, right? Ready, everybody? You are love. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love, one